listening to Wake Up Hollywood with Nikki Korula and Eddie Pence, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Wake up, Hollywood. This is your host with the most, Nikki Korula. We're going to jump right into this episode. You know what? Your record's out, Lisa. We're going to start with a song we played last time, but just so people can know, we're going to play Bring On the Sunshine. Sam, we're going to play a song right out the bat. This is because Lisa's record is out, and here it is. Here's Bring On the Sunshine. All right, we just want to show a snippet. I know that's the instrumental, but just we're a little foreshadowing of the record to be. Lisa, you have your first debut EP out.
Yes.
How does it feel?
Oh my gosh, it feels wonderful. It's fantastic.
It's a relief too, isn't it? It's like you put a lot of time into going through the struggle of making a record. It is an emotional upheaval. It is a financial burden. It is a musical dilemma constantly. You're putting out fires. You're figuring out the process. I know I've done many more records, and every time I do a record, I think, this is my last record. I'm good after this. And then it makes me want to do another one. So my first question for you is, does it make you want to do another one?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm already ready. I'm already ready. I have like 2 songs I'm working on right now.
That's awesome. Well, you know what? It was an honor first to be your producer on this.
Oh, thank you.
I'm super proud of the record because honestly, I love all of it. The songs are great. The vocals are great. I love the guitar parts that, like part of like a great song to me is when a song is so well crafted that a guitar part just comes to me without thinking. And yeah, your songs just made the guitar part so easy. And I love that because it just made it like, okay, this piece just needs to fit right here. But tell me, now that the record's out, what songs are you playing or rotating? Is the whole thing on rotation? Are you listening to one more than the other? From the artist to the listener. So I want to know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've got it on rotation in the car for sure. I think I keep going to Bring On the Sunshine and Love Coma.
Good choices. Good choices. What's cool about all the songs on your EP, it's like each one is like a little branch that pokes out in a different way of a really great tree. You know what I mean? So it was really cool to kind of see what songs you were going to choose. I saw these songs go from kind of like a classroom setting to a performance and a final to you asking me to go through the songs to be your producer. to doing scratch tracks to seeing them come to fruition. It was such a really, I'm going to tell you this, and I've told you this many times, it was so painless. And that is a rare occurrence for me with any artist and with any song, because usually there's a little bit of a tug of war. There's a little bit of a steep, like a mountain to climb, obstacles. There's always fires to be put out. There's always something. Your record was not any of that. It was like kind of like walking through fairyland. Like, oh, this is how easy it should be all the time. So it was really a really amazing process to do this with you. And I really, really, really want to thank you for trusting me at every angle and, kind of obstacle that we kind of went through together. I saw you grow. I watched you grow in the vocal booth as I was throwing crazy harmonies and you were getting frustrated. You were like, I'm just not hearing that. I'm like, yes, you are. Just do it again. And then you just did it again. And then you would get it. You would get it. At 2 or 3 takes, you'd be like, so it was a really, really cool process and super fun. And I know my whole team enjoyed working with you. And you can hear it in the music. The music is like so groovy, like 70s, like folk pop. Like it's just, I want to like, are you doing music videos for any of these?
I haven't thought that far, but that would be really fun.
you gotta do like a roller skating video for Ringo. It'd be pretty cool.
Yes.
It's like people roller skating. Like it's got a roller skating vibe.
I like roller skating.
Yeah. So tell me, what was the most daunting part of you starting the recording process? Because now we're almost 6 months to a year. How long has it been?
No, it's been like a whole year. We started the first song in January last year.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So tell me now looking back, you've gone through the process. What was the most daunting thing for you? Was it the last minute? We're changing the vocal here so you can just sing this crazy lick or this harmony. I'm going to guess it's that, but you tell me what was the most daunting thing for you.
Like at first it was just kind of getting used to the whole process.
Right.
Not really sure what I was doing, honestly. And then kind of, yeah, you're kind of right. Some of the big challenges were, some of it I also kind of did to myself, because I'd be up here at midnight the night before the session saying, I don't like the second verse and I need to love it.
Right.
So this is going to be, this is my song and I need to love it and I don't love it. So I'm going to sit up here until I love it. So of course, then, it's like 1, 2, 3 in the morning and I'm like, okay, I have a session tomorrow. Let's get this wrapped up.
Isn't that the best? There's something about that energy before you go into a session when you're working on stuff. I love that. It's like this frustration. It's a little bit, you're tired. It's a little bit like you're excited because you're like embarking on something new for the song. I love that. There's something about the crafting part of that before you walk in and you're going to lay it down. There's a little bit of like, what's going to happen right now? Like, did you go through that when you were late nights?
I kind of, in retrospect, I kind of enjoyed the challenging bits. In the moment, I wouldn't have said that.
Right. I remember, I think it was one time, I don't know which song it was, but you were like, I can't believe you made me change my keyboard part the night before. And I was like,
yeah.
But I heard you play it and I was like, you can play this.
No problem. Like, damn it, Nikki.
You're like, I can't. And then you were like fighting me against, you're like, I don't think I'm going to do this. And I'm like, try it first. And then you tried it and you got it in like 1 or 2 takes. And Audrey was like, yeah, she got it. I don't know what, and then you were like, I'm just not used to this. And we're like, but you just laid it down. Like, no problem. So,
I'm just not used to this.
But that's what growing is. It's like, who was saying it the other day? We went through this in this production class I'm doing with Brent Paschke, one of the artists, and it happened with Brent. Brent was playing guitar part, and somebody was like, that guitar part in the verse is a little too busy. And Brent was like, no, I'm so used to playing this pattern. And I was like, just let's try it. And then he got it, and I was like, yeah, you got it. You played it, and it's so much more dynamic now in the verse. Like sometimes there's a little tug of war because It's not that it's difficult, it's that it's different. And
Different.
we're like, no, this is not what I'm used to. It's like that doesn't mean it's not like put me in the song, please. You know, that little part, those little sections,
Right.
they do that. And you did that. I know I threw a lot of curveballs at you with the vocals. I pushed you a lot because I know, I was explaining this to a class recently. I said, I can hear what you're hearing. So if you sing me something back, I know exactly what you're hearing. So then it's like, I know what I can throw at you that'll be a curveball that you'll be able to hit. But I'm going to get a couple, like, you're going to miss it a couple times. That's okay, because if you don't miss it, you won't know how great it's going to feel once you hit it out of the park. You know what I mean? So you did all that, and it was easy breezy. So
Yeah.
you have been playing this. You have a CD release show coming up. When is it?
It's on Saturday.
Where is it?
It is actually a private event.
Okay. All right. But we'll say it's in the city.
It is in the City of Angels.
City.
Los Angeles.
All right. So it's a mystery show. I like it. Okay, cool. Well, let's play something first. What do you want to play us first?
Let's play a new one. Let's do Second Chance.
Here's Second Chance by Lisa Martin.
Fork in the road and you have to choose. Sometimes to win, you have to lose. You can't stand still, you have to move. Sometimes to win, you have to lose. You can't turn around, you can't go back. You better hit the road, Jack. It's over now, forget the past. Let's hear for a second chance, and it's crazy, oh so crazy. When your heart fills up with daisies. Time will come when you have to choose. Sometimes you'll grow when you try to refuse. Nothing stays still once you drop the groove. Sometimes to win, you gotta lose. You can't turn around, you can't go back. You better hit the road, Jack. It's over now, forget the past. Let's hear for a second chance, and it's crazy, oh so crazy. When your heart fills up with daisies. And here I stand. This wasn't the plan. How can I start again? You can't turn around, you can't go back. You better hit the road, Jack. It's over now, forget the past. Let's hear for a second chance. You can't turn around, you can't go back. You better hit the road, Jack. It's over now, forget the past. Let's hear for a second chance, and it's crazy, oh so crazy. When your heart fills up with daisies. Fork in the road and you have to choose. Sometimes to win, you have to lose. You can't stand still, you have to move. So you can win even when you lose.
So good. So good. I got to tell you something really funny. I was listening to that song and I was like, oh man, I hope I didn't put any bass and drums on this. Right at the beginning, I was like, oh man, this should just be a solo piano tune. I hope we didn't put bass and drums on this. And then halfway through, I was like, we didn't put any bass and drums on it. So good. So good because it's so intimate. There's such a vibe. And I'm going to give you a huge compliment. I figured it out.
What?
I hear exactly what your voice is a combination of. You ready? Two of my favorite female singers. You are a combination of Karen Carpenter and Linda Ronstadt. For sure. I hear both ingredients in the voice. It's there. It is there. Do you know Karen Carpenter's music?
Yes, I know both of those artists very well. I'm like
Super
sitting here
70s.
flipping out.
Yeah, you definitely have. I'm telling you, I've got really good ears. I know that ingredient is in. It's in your. Those ingredients are in your voice for sure. I hear them both 70s vibes. But
Yeah,
it's like it's the timbre, it's the range, and it's like you're like a hybrid of both of those. I hear it. Really cool.
my other songwriting friend said he heard a little Joni Mitchell in that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can hear that. I hear that in the writing though. I don't hear that in the vocal.
In the vocal, yeah.
Yeah, it's in the writing. I definitely hear that like Blue. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, one of my favorite albums.
Joni Mitchell's voice. If you want to know the truth, I think you can sing better than Joni Mitchell. I know people love Joni Mitchell's voice. I love Joni Mitchell's voice. I love her voice. But let me tell you,
one of my favorites.
Linda Ronstadt to me is one of the best female voices. Like I listen to her. I listen to her like this because she's that good. You know what I mean? And so every now and then a voice like that comes around, and yeah, I think you sing better than Joni Mitchell. But the songwriting for sure definitely has Joni Mitchell vibes. So I credit that person to hearing the writing, but the vocal, I'm gonna tell you, I'm right about that vocal. You listen.
Well, I will take that for sure.
Hello.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Really great song. Tell me what the song's about. And tell me what made you write it. Why it was important for you to put it on the record.
Well, gosh, I wrote this. This was one of the early songs. In fact, I think this might be the second song I wrote. I wrote Love Coma first, and I think this one was next. And it was just something about and the way I write is kind of like these lyrics will like percolate in the back of my mind for like days. Like a little phrase will like catch in there and just stay there and kind of just hang out.
Yeah.
And the one was, you can't turn around, you can't go back. You can't turn around, you can't go back. You can't turn around, you can't go back. And that just kind of turned into the chorus.
And you play really cool chords. Like you play like really like substantial footholds on the song, which is what I love. Like all the verses have really hooky parts. The chords are really big. They're powerful. They're simple, but they're elegant. It's really great. I love the way you play piano.
Thank you.
I'll say that to a lot of people because
Aww.
I really mean it. Like,
I used to think that like everything needed to be complicated.
No, I actually find that my favorite piano songwriters are writing simple things, and it makes me freeze. I'm like, you know what I mean? Or it's a jazz pianist that he's using the voice and the chords and the mechanics to create a painting of sounds, and that's like really awesome. I love that too. So yeah, it's both. It's really both. But you really you drive the song with how you play, how dynamic you are. I know we worked on that too, which is cool because I noticed like your pocket was tight, like everything you went, and also when you tracked it too. I think we had you working to a click. Like,
yes,
you know that's my routine. I'm like,
yes.
You practice to that click for a week, and then you come in. Sometimes it was a couple days, but you were able to nail it in 1 or 2 weeks, and that's what helps. That's what makes it so smooth. It's like if people do the work, it's going to show right when you're ready to record. You know?
Yeah. Going back to your first question, that I would include that as one of my challenges. Like staying to the click. Even though I come from the classical world, I play clarinet, so I've spent many hours in a practice room playing to a metronome. But there's something about like having to record to a click that is challenging, and I realize how much like in live performance I kind of you can give and take a little bit do in the studio.
Yep. And you know what's crazy is so I've done I think 7 records all to a click, and then my 8th record was not to a click.
Ooh.
My drummer for NK Band, Adam, who played on your record too, he didn't notice. And I was like, oh yeah, it's not to a click because we move in one section a little bit. And he was like, oh really? I said, yeah, I like that you didn't notice though, because I'm like, I want this section a little bit faster because it feels right with the vocal. And it was cool. It was cool to see that because it was like, Yeah, we both know I can play to a click. That's okay, but it's okay for music to have a little bit of a tug of war. You know what I mean? But it's also
Mhm.
makes it easier when you're playing to a click for others to play with you. So
Yeah.
it's a big reason. We recorded the other record live where everybody was in the room. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was cool. And then what made you write the song? I know it was like an emotional song to write about. So tell me what inspired it.
Um, at the time, I was really going through some relationship issues, struggles,
Right.
big time, and that's kind of what inspired it.
I wasn't saying that to pry, but it was also just to like let people know that, you know what, we all go through those things and it's okay. And it's great that somebody
Yeah.
writes about it because we can relate to it. You know what I mean? It's like,
It's a human thing that everybody goes through.
yep, absolutely. So let's play something else. What do you want to play next?
Oh my gosh. Why don't we just do another new one?
Let's do another new one. What is it?
Save Myself.
Save Myself. Here's Save Myself by Lisa Martin.
No one's on their way to save me, but somehow I'm still waiting. I think they're running late. Some hero must be roaming. It's the thought that keeps me going. I bet they show up any day now. I'm tied to the tracks, and you're never coming back. Great. Here comes a train. The sun's beating down and there's no one around. I could really use some help. Guess I'm gonna have to save myself. I'm gonna have to save myself. It was hope that fueled me, but this ain't no silent movie. Charlie Chaplin won't save the day. I want a happy ending. I'm not okay, I'm just pretending. You know I'm laid out here this way, so I picked you this bouquet. Now the train's down the bend and I'm still struggling. Oh no, it's starting to rain. The wind whips my hair and there's nobody there. I could really use some help. Guess I'm gonna have to save myself. I'm gonna have to save myself. If these knots won't come undone, don't think that you have won. And if the sun loses its spark, I'll make friends with dirt, best friends with dark. And if this place becomes my tomb, I'll plant myself and wait to bloom. Now the train's bearing down and I'm still on the ground. It's no use, I better pray. I haven't figured out there's no angels flying round. Lord, I could really use some help. Lord, I could really use some help. Lord, I could really use some help. Guess I'm gonna have to save myself. I'm gonna have to save myself.
Yeah. I
Yay.
thought of you the other day because I went to the Academy Museum.
Oh, you did?
Out of your song lyric, Charlie Chaplin won't save the day. And I was like, oh, I gotta show her this. Hold on, let me see if I can do it. Hold on. Wait,
Oh,
hold on. Is this better?
okay.
Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah. Oh.
I can't tell because it's opposite of there. Charlie Chaplin saving the day over here.
Oh.
Let me see if I can do it again with the other one. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this one right. This one, hold on. Whoa! Whoa!
Oh my gosh.
I love flip books.
Those are great.
Those are great. But
Those
I
are
like
great.
that lyric. So tell me why you threw Charlie Chaplin, let's say, the day in there. What you
Well,
got against Charlie Chaplin? No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like sometimes you know, in life, sometimes we're kind of looking for people to like come help us. Like, we feel helpless or whatever. Like,
Right.
and you feel like you can't do it yourself, and like someone has to come and like help you. Like, you know, and I realized, you know, there's not always going to be that person, and so sometimes you have to be that person. You have to step up and save yourself. So
I got all these ideas for your music videos. You got to do like a Charlie Chaplin silent movie.
oh, I love that idea.
It would be so cool.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
literally have somebody kind of like doing that style, and then you're like singing about it. That'd be kind of neat.
That would be so cool.
Look at this. These ideas are just spewing out of me. You know, it's like
I'm supposed to be taking notes right now.
you'll remember this later. You'll be like, oh yeah, I remember we should do this. No, it's a cool lyric. It's something that you don't. It's striking when you hear it. Even just now, it's like the song is taking me to a place, and then that little line makes me. It takes me out of it because it's in a good way. Because it's like, oh, I love Charlie Chaplin. Oh, he did save the day. Oh yeah, that's cool. A little nod to old timey movie theater, like the damsel in distress on the train tracks, and then Charlie Chaplin does save the day. You know, so
Yeah.
it's cool. It's very cool.
Oh, you know, can I just tell a little story?
Yeah,
The very
please.
first vocal demo I ever made was at it's the Henson Studios.
Oh wow,
But it was A&M.
A&M. That's
It
right.
was Charlie Chaplin Studios.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know
Mhm.
Chaplin owned A&M. That's
Well, he
great.
didn't own A&M. That A&M was in that building.
Right? So
So it was Charlie Chaplin Studios. A&M moved in there. Now it's Henson.
wait. So Charlie Chaplin owned that studio first,
Yeah, it was his studio on Vine.
and then he. Well,
And then whatever happened, and then it was A&M.
it's on La Brea though, right? Not on Vine.
Not on Vine. La Brea.
Yes,
La
yeah.
Brea.
Okay, so then A&M moved in.
Yeah, A&M was in there for a long time. Yeah, and now it's Henson. But the very first vocal demo I ever did was in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How cool is that? There's a restaurant in Hollywood, Musso and Frank's. Have you been to Musso and Frank's? Charlie Chaplin has his booth in there. And he used to, I can't remember who it was. It was another director. He used to race them on horseback to Musso and Frank's. And whoever won paid the bill, or whoever lost may have gotten a free dinner. I can't remember, but I think it was whoever won paid the bill.
Wow.
Old school Hollywood. I mean, you know, it's like that doesn't happen now. You know what I mean? But I just thought he's awesome. I think it's so cool that you put that little footnote in the song. And I'm sure they're like, "Who's Charlie Chaplin?" You know, they're like, "Who's that?" You know, they don't know. So tell me what your writing process is like. When you write a song, do you start with chords? Do you start with the groove? Do you start?
No, I always start lyrics.
Interesting. Before you even have a melody. Oh, I didn't know. I don't think I ever asked you that.
Oh yeah. So like I'm totally lyric driven. Like I have notebooks upon notebooks of little snippets of all kinds of stuff. And then the back of my head always has snippets of stuff. And then when it coalesces into a theme, then I start like forming. I take all of those little things and like form it into something that makes sense.
That's
And then I like put what music goes, what do these words sound like in musically?
right.
That's how I do it.
That's interesting. I've done that a couple times. For me, I like having a melody and then making the melody make words that don't exist. And they come into words. But I have written lyrics first when I feel like, oh, I gotta just write this down. And then it's like you make the melody match. And there's an ease to that. It's like I already know what the words are supposed to be, so I know what the melody should be. Whereas sometimes when I come up with the melody first, I'm like, oh man, I got to make this fit into gibberish that doesn't mean anything, and then make that gibberish sound like it meant something all along. You know,
Mhm. Right.
it's like
That's
we,
what I've known all along.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny that we write songs like in a multitude of different ways.
Mhm.
There's always something that makes sense for us. So do you sit and just like write? Do you write in prose, or do you just write thoughts down that are not like poetry?
Well, I do have a background in poetry. I do have like notebooks and notebooks of poetry. So it's similar to poetry, but it's more of just like little phrases and things like that. Random stuff. It's
Like,
there's kind of no rhyme or
I
reason.
see a hummingbird sitting on the branch, or is it like, I can't believe I'm going through this bullshit with so and so again? Is it stuff like that?
No, that's journal stuff.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
It's
So it is like more poetic.
more poetic stuff, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's nice. And do you read lyrics or poetry? Like, what inspires you to write like that?
I don't know. I've kind of just always been that way since I was a little kid. I have journals from since I was like 10. I don't know.
You seem like a reader, though. You must be a reader.
Oh yeah, I spent my childhood like so I grew up in Phoenix and it was super hot. And so like a lot of times we were either in the pool or inside reading. So
What were you reading as a kid?
like anything and everything. I was like a voracious reader. My mom would take us to the library and we were allowed to read as many as we could carry. So I'd come home like carrying this big stack of books like this, you know. And yeah.
I would come home with like maybe 4 books. My dad would be like, "Do you read any of those?" I'd be like, "I've got an audio book of like some wolf man that I'm gonna listen to first." But I would eventually read them because,
Of course, that shows how old I am because I'm like going to the library as a kid, like bringing home books. But yeah,
yeah, I'm sure kids there are like, "What's a library?"
what are you talking about, right?
Can't you just Google the text and just have it on your phone?
No.
Like, nope, not the old school, not the old school way. You had to go to the card catalog, look it up, and it was always like X dash 234 dot
Right.
0.456.
Like hieroglyphics, trying to figure out where the dang book is, right?
And then you go to that section and you're like, it's
hell
not
is-
here. It's not here. But it was actually really cool when it was there. It's like,
Right.
oh man, this librarian knows what's up. But sometimes it'd be like, and then you go to, and then it'd be like, oh, you got to look on the rack. And it's like, what's the point of this card system if it's not,
It's not even there. Right.
on the shelf, right?
Kids don't know. They just don't know.
I know the struggle. You know,
They'll never know.
I was actually, I was talking to Bonnie about this the other day. I was like, kids don't understand, and I know you'll be able to relate to this. Kids today don't understand the hustle and struggle of trying to record a song from the radio that you waited 1 to 2 hours for on the countdown that has not been played yet because
You're waiting to press record, right?
numbers, and then when you like push record, the DJ's talking over the first couple measures.
And you're like,
And it's
shut
like,
up, bro,
yeah,
shut up.
So I was making the joke of like you're playing your first like version of the song is like Roxanne.
Right.
It's like just getting the motors going on the record. You know,
Yeah.
oh man, people don't understand
No.
that. But also it taught us to savor music.
Mhm.
Like when that song did come on, it was electricity in the air. And it was like everybody shut up and listen. Nobody talked during the song because it's like the song has finally come on. It's an event.
Right.
And I also think kids don't realize today how important it is to listen to music like that, to know that, oh, it was an event when it came on. You know what I mean? What was a song like that for you? What was it? Because I can list you 10 right now.
Like when a video was going to premiere on MTV
Yes,
or something like that. Like we were all there for it. Like
what video? What was the video?
What I remember in particular that we actually the day I think it was Beastie Boys.
Yeah,
Check Your Head.
Check Your Head. Yes, that's great.
We had the hugest block party because I was in college. We had the hugest block party. And somebody we scrounged all our money together. Somebody rode their bike to the music store, right? Came back with the CD, right?
The CD was like this big.
Now you're making this up. We pulled all our money. Somebody rode their bike, and they came back, and they're like, "I got it!" And we're like, "Woo!" And like literally, 100 people just You know, oh, Beastie Boys, it was so rad. Oh,
Yeah, I miss that. It's like music just being everywhere all at once. It's like you don't know the struggle of having to go to Sam Goody on your bike, save up for the week to get that ginormous CD that could barely fit in your shirt.
oh,
Hold it, and it was like, and then when you open the CD, it was like, why is this cardboard case so freaking big? I remember my first CD was, I think one of my first CDs was Color Me Bad. I was like, oh man, I can't wait to open Color Me Bad. And the CD case was like so big. It was like,
oh my God.
and then the CD's only this big. It's like, what? Why didn't you know the packaging?
Boxes, I forgot that.
Yep.
Why did they do that?
Okay. And also, like the CD. What about I've got a bunch of CDs here. The CD, the tape on the top.
Yes.
Like the gives you the binding of I hate that. I used to hate that little tag. But on my first record, they're like, hey, do you want to print this? And I'm like, no, I hate those things. They're like, it's better if you get it in the stores. People can look at it from the top.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna put this annoying tag on the top that I hate because if it gets into a music store, then people will be able to see. This is so stupid.
I know.
I
had a trick for those because I worked at Virgin Vegas store. And I had a trick for that. All you did was just you pop the bottom out of the thing. And just peel it off.
Yep.
And pop it back in.
But you don't need that step. That's such a silly step. Come on.
I know.
So did you ever work the releases at Virgin Megastore where like
it
would be like Monday night at midnight?
Yes.
Those were the best days.
Yes.
I loved those days. You got to hear the record before anybody else got to hear it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I miss that. I miss that.
And everybody lining up outside and like,
I get that feeling when I go to Amoeba Records sometimes.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, people still love record stores. This is so great. But it's like, yeah, there was nothing like the Virgin Megastore back in the day. Crazy. All right, not to go back to that.
All right, now that we've been talking about
that's all right. Nostalgia is good. People know the struggle is real when you savor music. So let's play something else. What are we playing next?
All right. Is this the last one, or are we gonna play?
We may be able to have. I think we only have the instrument of the other one, but I can maybe email Sam. But right now, let's play.
Want to do Love Coma?
Let's do Love Coma, and let's talk about this because you did something super cool for me that I'm so thankful that you did. Whenever I play a guitar solo, and I think this one is my favorite, one of my favorite solos I've ever played on anybody's record, including my own. I really love the solo.
What?
But like, you don't always get the video of the take. And you took out your camera and you just took a quick video and then you sent it to me, and I was so happy because like I didn't get to hear a mixed version for a couple of days, and I was like, man, I wish I had that solo. And then you texted me the video, and I was like, and I was so happy that. And then you posted it too, and I was like, I love this solo, and you love it too, and you caught the video of it. I love when people have those instincts to like capture something on video because it's always better to just capture it in person.
Mm-hmm.
There's something cool when you can look and relive it again, especially when something creative. So I love this guitar solo. I love this song. I love the guitar part. I love the vocal. It's such a cool vibe. Let's play it. This is Love Coma by Lisa Martin.
A kiss from the sun seeds for the raised. We're growing weeds from graves. Thought it was love, maybe it was a mistake. Hope to work anyway. But it was a love coma, a love coma. Then I woke up. It was a love Tears from the sun sees for the rays. We're growing weeds from graves. Thought it was love, maybe it was a mistake. We're just growing weeds from graves.
So good. So good. It's just so good.
I'm still like, I can't believe that's the first song that I wrote. Like,
That's the first song you ever written?
yeah,
I didn't know that. Did you tell me that in the
I
session?
think so.
Maybe when I was playing guitar, I was like, uh-huh.
I was like, this is the first song that, yeah.
That's crazy. That's all. That's a good feeling, actually. I have not recorded the first song I ever wrote, but I've always secretly been like, yo, I want to record this, but I have to remember. I don't remember everything because I didn't record it on the phone or anything. I have it on like some old recorder somewhere, so I have to fish it out and figure it out. That's a good feeling that the first song that you wrote is not on your record. That's
Yeah, I felt good enough about it to like, this is something.
well, it's cool. Like, I don't know if you like Men at Work or like The Police, or it's got all those vibes in it. And I was listening to the guitar tone too. I was like, man, I love that I put like, I think a tremolo or a chorus on it. And I was like, I don't always do that. I'm going to do that more because it's just such a cool part. But the cool thing is that the melody is just, it's just making you coast. Like, you're just, I mean, I could just like be on a drive listening to that. And yeah, and it's also here, this is something that may be a little foreign to you. When any guitar player is like coming up with a tone to solo with, like, I could have the same dials in the same place and it wouldn't totally sound the same. It'd be a little bit different. So what's really cool is like there's a really beautiful tone in like what's there. And I'm like, I don't know if I could have replicated that. Like, if we had to track that for some reason the next day, I don't know if it would have come out like that. So
Really?
yeah, it's weird. Like, it's just like mechanics of like pedals and the guitar and like the settings, something it kind of all has to line up sometimes. But everything did. Everything was just super cool, easy breezy, very vibey.
I
Very,
like how it turns out like kind of feeling a little hypnotic, which is
yeah.
great.
But it's also the vocals, it makes you just feel like you're on a drive, like up the Malibu coast, like PCH, baby, just doing that on a convertible and just like listening to the Love Coma, right?
Sure.
It's funny. I was looking at the title too, and I was like, Love Coma. And then I was like, oh yeah, if it was another M, it'd be Love Comma.
Love Comma.
Good thing nobody messed that up. You know what I mean? Love Comma would not have the same zing.
No.
Coma. So tell me what the inspiration behind Love Coma was. What made you write the song?
Love Coma. Okay, there was two things. There was two little, again, from the snippets of my books, there was two things that kind of came together. One, I found an old journal. Well, I had decided, let's try to write some songs, right? Okay. So I found an old journal. I'm like, let's mine it, see what's in here. If there's anything good, like I can use now. And I found like there was something about whatever the lyric is. I thought it was love. Maybe it was a mistake. I was in a love. Oh, something about love coma. Oh, I was in a love coma and I just woke up. That's what I wrote. I was in a love coma and I just woke up. And I was like, there it is. There's the song, Love Coma. Okay. But then the other thing that I found I find weird things. So I was on Facebook and just scrolled. Somebody had posted this weird, there was these people and it was called Weeds from Graves. Whoa. Okay. And it's apparently like people like go, like, I don't know, goth people or whatever. They'll go and like take like weeds literally growing from a grave and then plant them and like grow them.
What?
I don't know. It's like macabre.
Wait. So they take weeds from the grave and then they take it home and
then they plant it. Yeah.
Oh God, I got chills in a bad way.
So I'm like, and then there's all these pictures of people's weeds from grave that they had pulled from graves, and it was like weird ass. So I was like, weeds from graves, that's freaking weird.
That's funny. I don't know why I never asked you about that before, but I'm glad I didn't ask you that before because that is creepy as.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It
It's
was,
like,
and I was like, who are these people? But Weeds from Graves stuck with me, you know.
yeah, that's kind of, you get the image right away. You know, it's
Mhm.
like, what are other phrases in that that made you feel like, okay, there's a vibe here, it's haunting. Yeah, now it makes sense why all the tones and everything together make it sound ghostly and
Mhm.
haunting. Interesting. And that wasn't like, I don't know if that was intentional on my end. I just thought it needed to sound like whatever you wanted it to sound like. So
Mhm.
did you give us that direction? Did you want?
No.
Wow, that's crazy because there are points of your vocal where it's like it sounds like ghostly in a cool way, but it's like not scary.
Yeah.
It's like you see some ghostly vibe and it's you hear it and it's like hypnotic too. It's
Yeah.
exactly what you said. It is hypnotic. The whole vibe is
I think it's like
cool.
a dead relationship, and the only thing that's blooming is these weeds.
Interesting. Well, you have another song unreleased. Let's talk about that. Well, first, where can people find your record? It's out. Where can people find it? Where can people listen to it?
Oh my gosh, it's everywhere. It's called Running Late.
Why?
It's
Why is it called Running Late?
well, I had a friend help me pick the title, but there's some undertones to it. Well, so it came from the lyric in Save Myself. No one's on the way to save me. I think they're running late.
Hmm,
Um,
that's cool.
yeah, so I picked Running Late. And the other thing is, this is kind of an encore career for me. I had a career in working in the labels and that kind of thing.
Right.
I'm older, and so this is kind of like my second act kind of thing.
I love that. I love that. It's a great title.
And it's like,
Also, I love when artists take a lyric that's like, I haven't done this yet, but I love when artists take a lyric that is not the title of a song, but it's in a song. And then you come to the song and then you hear the lyric and it's like, oh, okay. Now I get this. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's either that or it's like a name that sums up the whole album and there's no song like that.
Right.
I mean, so, but I'm always like, I always name it after, usually after a song, most of the time.
Mhm.
But I like that you disguised it with a little subtext or, yeah, like a little lyric in the song that's like,
Well, I couldn't pick. I was like, which one of these encapsulates the whole? I don't know. So I was like,
cool.
something else. Yeah.
So now that all the songs are done, you have an unreleased song that you did with Annette Adler. Tell us about that. Talk to us about the release date. What's next for that?
I'm not sure what the release date is going to be, but that's coming down the pipeline next. I'm really excited about it. It's my first co-write.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. And Annette and I we clicked. We actually met in our class
So
at the
crazy.
songwriting school. And
Were you in the Roots class?
it was Songmakers.
Oh, okay, cool.
Was it Roots or Songmakers? No, it was Roots. I'm sorry, it was Roots. The first class. And we got paired up just randomly and we just clicked. And actually the song that we wrote for classes, we recorded it and with you, and it was just so great.
Well, I was flattered that you came back and you wanted me to do the next song. But it was also cool to see you co-write and collaborate because it's like wearing different hats. And you and Annette were like very protective of each other in that safe creative space, which I was like, wow.
Mhm.
When I do co-write, sometimes it's vicious. It's like, no, it should be like this. No, I don't think it should be like this. I think it's got to be like this. But you were like, what do you think? Do you think it should be this? And you were like, well, I kind of think it should be this. And I was like, this is the difference of maybe two guys riding together and two women riding together. I don't know. It's so gentle and caring, and
Could be.
it's not like abrupt and like you're an asshole for that idea. That's how guys are. That's what
My way.
yeah, it's my way or the highway. Like I'm right. I know what I'm talking about. But you guys were both very gentle. It was very cool. So
Yeah, we both have very strong opinions.
yes, you
We both have very strong opinions.
You were very diplomatic in how you got those opinions across. So
Mhm.
that's a testament to your character.
Luckily,
So
we often agree.
let me ask you, what platform do you listen to it on the most? Spotify, I assume.
Um, I'm on the YouTube Music app a lot.
Okay, all right. So you
Mhm.
listen to it on YouTube a lot.
Mhm. Not on, but on their music app.
Where do you want people to find your music? Where are they on? Is it on all
It's
platforms?
on all platforms. I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, um, Music. What is the other one? Amazon Music,
Yep.
iTunes. Did I say that? Basically, all the streaming platforms. There's like, I don't know. There's so many of them. There's like a bunch of them I haven't even really investigated yet.
Yeah, me too. Me too. There's some that you just know they're up there, but you don't know what they are because
Yeah.
most people are on Spotify,
Yeah.
YouTube. Those are the two I use the most.
Yeah.
I use Apple. I've been debating on getting an Apple Music profile because I'm like, maybe I just need.
Hmm.
Or I don't think I need it, but I'm like, maybe I just need to just take the plunge. So
I
it's
know, but like,
on Spotify, YouTube. It's
yeah.
on all the ones that we haven't mentioned too. And then you were about to say something. What were we going to say?
I was just gonna say, like, I know I just went to that big music conference last week, Music
You went to
Expo.
Music Expo.
Music Expo.
You know, I played Music Expo.
Yeah, that is so fantastic.
You
I'm
know
like,
what?
oh my gosh.
I started by being on the sampler. That was the first step.
Yeah,
I don't know if they do that anymore, but
I don't think so.
they used to have like a 4-disc sampler. So it was like a big deal that you were on the sampler. And I was like, oh, we're on disc 3, track
Yeah.
20, you know. But when I saw the bands performing, I was like, you know what? We need to play this. So I was so happy. Did you meet Sat Bisla?
I met Sat, and he's so great.
Good dude. He's a good dude. And
Wow.
he's fighting the good fight for indie artists.
Yes.
You know what's really cool is like he is the reason we showcased for the A&R for Dave Matthews Band because we played Music Expo and I told him, I said, the real reason I want to play Music Expo is I want Bruce Floor, the A&R Dave Matthews Band to see us. And he's like, I promise he'll be here. And then the day of this show, I didn't hear. And then we put on such an awesome show that all the people from Music Expo were like, oh my God, you were amazing. And then I ran the Sat and he said, before I could even ask him, he said, Bruce called me today and said he couldn't make it.
Oh.
I will personally make sure that you showcase for him. And then what he did was he personally asked Bruce to come and do a showcase. And we showcased for him in a venue with nobody else, which was pretty awesome and also like really kind of crazy. But Sat Bisla did that, and I will never forget that because he made that happen. So he's great. And I love that you went to Music Expo because it's like a South by Southwest here.
Yes. And I was just going to say that they're all talking about Spotify, so that's kind of like their the platform that they care about, I guess.
Okay, that's interesting. And then you're playing on Saturday. Are you playing Saturday? You are
playing on Saturday, yeah.
And that's the CD release, and it's a private event.
Mm-hmm.
And then where will you play in public next? You've done my Songwriter in the Rounds, which I'm so thankful for. I'm going to have you come back in and be in the mixed bag of artists that have played it before.
I'd love to come back. Woo!
Yeah, we want you back for sure.
Yeah.
Where else do you think you'll be playing? Where are the venues that you're looking at to play?
I'm in the process trying to figure out what my next move is. I've been so like involved in this CD release. It's kind of like, okay, the CD is
crazy. People don't realize how much work it is, but it's from the graphics to the upload.
Like when you're indie, like, and it's your first record, like I didn't know what to do. Like I've literally had to just Google, like, what do you do? Because like I didn't know. So it's quite a process. And
I didn't see any text messages on my phone that asked because I could have helped. But you know what? I'll tell you this. Sometimes it's good to just figure it out on your own because you are prepared the next time. You don't have to lean on somebody else and you learn. Now you know what it is to do it. And you did it. I mean, Lisa, we did it, but you did it. You did. No, really, you did it. You did all the work. And you were such a great artist. So people, check out the record. It's called Running Late. Lisa Martin on all platforms. And her private release party maybe I'll tell you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you where it is.
Like
but,
maybe I'll tell you because you're like I got the deets right.
I was waiting for you to tell, but
I'm super excited though. I'm so excited. There's gonna be a couple of really fun surprises. But
that's awesome. Cool. Well, I'm excited. I'll probably be there most likely. I told you that. I told you that before the show. So what's the one thing you want people to get from this record? And this will be my last question.
Oh my gosh, that's putting me on the spot. What do I want people to get from this record? I just want them to, enjoy listening to it and kind of connect to like the emotions and the humanity of the song. And because I feel like I was listening to it in the car today, not gonna lie. And I was like, it seems like a lot of these are kind of like mid-tempo. I think I want my next album to be like more up-tempo stuff.
Well, that's cool. I like that. But you know what? It's funny because you make records that you're like, I'm gonna make this record be what it is, and then you're like, oh, for the next one, I wanna, because I do the same thing. I'm like, for the next record, it's gonna be all this, and
right. Be different from this.
Yeah. So that's what makes it cool, though, and you'll make all those things happen. So, but congrats, you did it.
Thank you.
The record's out. I love it. I was honored to produce this. I was honored to work with you, Lisa. Very humbled that you asked me. And check out Lisa's record, Lisa Martin, Running Late, all major platforms, and she will play somewhere soon. And it may be private this time. Next time.
The next time won't be.
Next time it won't be. So on behalf of Lisa, Sam, myself, we'll see you guys next week. Peace, love. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We out.
You're listening to Wake Up Hollywood with Nikki Korula and Eddie Pence, right here on LA Talk Radio.